Minasan konnichiwa und willkommen. And today I'm doing a facts video. Now, I promise that the Ninja Turtles voice impressions video is coming, but this particular video, facts based off the Wizard of Oz, will tide you over until I'm finished with it. Okay, let's begin. Now, MGM originally wanted Shirley Temple to portray Dorothy, but 20th Century Fox would not have any of that. Because 20th Century Fox used Temple in their film, The Little Princess. La Princesa de Pequeña, if you're a Spaniard, or La Princesa de Pequeña, if you're a Latino. So 20th Century Fox pretty much said no thanks to MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, which was founded by Louis B. Mayer and Samuel Goldwyn. So MGM used one of its own stars to portray Dorothy, and that was Judy Garland, and the rest was history. The song Somewhere Over the Rainbow was almost cut from the final product, because the studio thought that it slowed down the picture. And they were originally considering cutting it from the final product. But eventually the song was put back in. And it actually won an Academy Award for it. Buddy Ebsen was supposed to portray the Tin Man, but due to some aluminum paint, he was hospitalized. Now remember, this was a few decades before he was Jed Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. So, Jack Haley Sr. was loaned from 20th Century Fox to star in the picture. And the rest was history. And during the Tin Man song, If I Only Had a Heart, you actually hear the original voice of Disney's Snow White, Adriana Caselotti. And she was the one who said that particular line, Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Now, if you listen to the isolated music and sound effects track, you actually hear Buddy Ebsen's portrayal of the Tin Man doing the singing. Whereas in the standard soundtrack, with dialogue, music, and effects, you hear Jack Haley Sr.'s version of the song. Also in that same audio track, the Scarecrow song, If I Only Had a Brain, just has music and sound effects. And there was actually an extended version of said song. The Scarecrow song, If I Only Had a Brain, which was discovered in the MGM vaults in 1973. And it actually featured a rare Ray Bolger dance choreography organized by Busby Berkeley. The studio wanted an actual lion to portray the Cowardly Lion with his voice dubbed in later, but they went with Burt Lahr. Put 'em up, put 'em up. If I were king of the forest, not mince, not duke, not prince, Believe it or not, Margaret Hamilton was actually a kindergarten teacher before she became world famous as the Wicked Witch of the West. You know, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. Now fly, fly, fly! There were actually a few actors considered for the role of the bumbling wizard, like Ed Wynn and W.C. Fields. The former said that the role was too small for him, but it would have been funny if he would have portrayed the bumbling wizard. Like, I am Oz, the great and powerful. And the latter, negotiations broke down over money. So they brought in veteran actor Frank Morgan, and the rest was history. You know, I am Oz, the great and powerful. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Did you know that The Wizard of Oz actually had 6 different directors working on the film? That's right, 6. There was Norman Taurog, Richard Thorpe, George Cukor, Mervyn LeRoy, Victor Fleming, and King Vidor. Now, Victor Fleming was the only one that got sole screen credit, just like with his other picture, Gone with the Wind, which he was also directing at the time. And Richard Thorpe was the one who made Judy Garland wear a blonde wig instead of her natural reddish hair. And there was actually an elaborate dance sequence titled the Jitterbug sequence that was cut from the final product. The actual motion picture footage no longer exists, but MGM was able to reconstruct the deleted scene with photographs, home movies, and the original soundtrack. You know, for the 50th anniversary release in 1989, the same year I was born. In the same year, voice acting legend Mel Blanc died. Now, Dorothy's magic shoes in the original books were originally silver, pretty similar to Cinderella's glass slippers. But since Louis B. Mayer wanted to take advantage of the Technicolor capabilities, had changed the color from silver to ruby. And there's actually a pair of the one pair of the ruby slippers at the Smithsonian in, I believe, New York. And in 2005, there was another pair of ruby slippers that actually got stolen. And then about 15 years later, they actually found the stolen slippers. But I think the thief is still at large. I could be wrong. On November 3rd, 1956, the 1939 film premiered on CBS for the very first time. It was part of a CBS anthology series titled Ford Star Jubilee. Yep, it was actually the last episode of that anthology series. And that sparked a tradition that continues to this very day, ever since its first television airing in 1956, which was, I believe, around the time that the original book entered the public domain. And the last ever network broadcast was in May of 1998. And after that point, it has since aired exclusively on the Turner channels: Cartoon Network, TBS, TNT, and Turner Classic Movies, or TCM for short. The Wizard of Oz has actually enjoyed good popularity all over the world. In Germany, it is known as Die Zauberer von Oz. In Japan, it's Oz no Mago Sukai. In Spain, it's El Mago de Oz. In Mexico, it's El Mago de Oz. In Sweden, it is Trollkarlen från Oz. In Brazil, it is known as O Mago de Oz. In Italy, it is known as Il Mago de Oz. In Denmark, is Trollmanden fra Oz. And in the French-speaking countries like France and Quebec, it's Le Magicien de Oz. Yeah, quite popular all over the world, like Germany, Japan, Mexico, Sweden, and Brazil. Wunderbar, danke, superashi, arigato, muy bueno, gracias, gut, tak, tudo bem, muito obrigado. Now, if you've studied Wizard of Oz history like I have, Frank Morgan actually played 5 different roles in the film. Not only did he play the bumbling wizard, but he also played the guard, Professor Marble, the doorman to the Emerald City, and the coachman with the horse of a different color. Talk about your working actors. Truly impressive that one actor can portray 5 different roles. Considering that voice acting legend Mel Blanc has done a lot of different roles over the years, from Mr. Spacely to Heathcliff, and from Bugs Bunny to Wile E. Coyote. But he was under contract to Warner Brothers at the time. And Judy Garland was under contract to MGM, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Still can't believe it's already been 85 years since the film was released to theaters, since 1939. Okay, that should be it for the video for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, and as always, amigos, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, adios, and arrivederci. And make sure you click that bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload new videos. And I'll be back with another video shortly, so stay tuned.